Hey guys, J352 here, and I'm back. I know it's been like 3 weeks since I last posted that last video, and it's just because I've been busy. But I'm here now. While I was making this, I realized I didn't really have many ideas other than the one that I had planned, and then I saw a comment that I think I kind of understood. Didn't really make sense to me, if I'm gonna be honest, but I think I did what they wanted me to do. But I'm going to show you guys all the stuff, and I'm going to show you the redstone behind it and explain it. So let's get with the first thing, which I guess you could call it a fairy if you wanted to. So to like, if you notice on like the left side of me is this little like, if I were lagging, this little like this little blue particle thing floating around me, and as I start to get closer, it changes colors, going to yellow, to orange, to red, as you can see. And you could use this little proximity thing, and like if you want to have a map or something, or have like treasure or like enemies around you, things such as that. But it's really easy as I get closer to this, it changes color the further away I get from it, and it turns back to blue. And I guess you could also do the same thing if you wanted to get hit by it, kind of like the dragonflies from Spyro, if you know what that is. But if someone wants me to make a video on that, I can do that too. So the next thing is the one that was commented that I didn't understand. Let me first change it to day. Okay, so they asked for like the block particle effect to be like 30 blocks wide. So it looks like this, and I have it based around my feet, so wherever I go, if that happens, I guess you could use it as an effect for like an earthquake or something if you wanted to. And yeah, to the person that made that comment, I hope this is what you meant. On the opposite side of this though, which is this one, I actually kind of liked when I figured it out, because it kind of gives me like a, I don't know, it could be like a border type deal. If I can just go up, as you can see, wherever I go up, there's like this wall of particles, and like, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of like, maybe if you have like a bug type map, you know, and like this could be like the swarm coming towards you. I think that would be cool. I just found this effect kind of cool when it's on the side like that. So there's that one, and then there's this one. Now this one, whenever I was doing it, I was like, oh, maybe you could do Flying Nimbus or something like that from Dragon Ball. But you also can't change the color of it. So, as you can see, I have this little cloud wherever I go on my feet. I just thought it was kind of cool because I didn't know that there was a campfire cloud smoke. Since I haven't played Minecraft in a while, like I actually played Minecraft in a while, so I don't know any of the new stuff. And with that command, you can do any particle that you wanted to have like a trail at your feet for. So yeah. And now this one is, I'll just explain this one when I'm explaining the redstone. We'll come back to this one. But now I'm going to start explaining the redstone of the little fairy thing, Then I'll explain the block particles, then the campfire, and then I'll explain what that is. So, yeah. Okay, so first thing you want to do is go scoreboard, objectives, and I named it Closeness. You want the criteria to be dummy. If it's not, it won't work. That's the first thing you're gonna want to do is just add that scoreboard. Next, we're gonna get onto these 4 command blocks. These all have the same base command, just different parameters set. So let's look at it. So this is just an execute command that's executing at the armor stand, which is over there, as I showed. You could do it for like a certain mob with a name if you wanted to, for like maps and stuff, or like anything. As long as it's a mob, you're good. So like if you wanted to do treasure chest, you would probably have to still use the armor stand, but it would have to be invisible. So there's that, and it's executing the execute command as the armor stand, and then it's running another execute command at all players whose closeness is greater than or equal to 0. Now this is important because if I were to set my closeness to -1, it turns it off. Like, this doesn't work. It doesn't change, nothing happens. Once I set it back to 0, it starts to work again, as you can see on the right. So, any player's whose closeness is equal to or greater than 0, then it will run a scoreboard command on the player to set their closeness to 0. I forgot about the distance part. Here, it's in the distance in between 0 to 10 blocks away. So this matches up with the red color that I get when I get 0 to 10 blocks away from this armor stand. So if I go up, it changes. Go this way, changes to. So as long as I'm 0 to 10 blocks away, it will set my closeness to 0. And these, like the distance here, is 11 to 21 for the orange. This one is 22 to 32 for the little greenish yellow. And then this one is just at a distance of 33 to 43, which technically, if you wanted to, you could literally just go 33 and above. So, like, there's no cap on how far away I can go away from this. Just for this, I put 43. And if you wanted to make it even more complex with more colors and more distance, then you could just add more. It's not that hard. So these 4 commands are what change the color. So if I'm correct, this one is the blue one. I know it seems backwards in comparison to like the direction of the other command blocks, but you know what? Who cares? It works. But anyway, so this is just an execute command as a player with closeness 3 equals 3. So when I'm back here, only when I'm back here, or when I'm away from the armor stand, it runs a command at me, which is very important. As mentioned in the last video, this is where we have the anchored part of the particle effect and particle dust, and then I'll explain this other blue stuff in a second. But first, I gotta explain how to get to this. So, something weird about the dust particle, and I think one of the witch particles, I'm not 100% sure about that second one, but if you set the count to 0, it turns this part into a color code. So right now this is the color light blue. This is just the part where it's like on the left side of me. But it's very important that this part is 0 if you want to change the color, as you can see. And it'll also come in handy over here, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, no, set this orange number to 0, and then you can usually find, like, you can mess around with the numbers and figure out which colors are which. But yeah, so this is executing on any player who is far away from the armor stand to run a particle dust, a light blue on the left side of that. And as you go down, this is like the orange yellow, or not the orange yellow, the greenish yellow. This one's the orange, and then this one's the red. Really simple. So let's go on to this one. This one's pretty simple. It's literally just another execute command, at all, or you can change the at all, as always. At anchored on my feet to run a block particle. With block particles, you have to be specific with the block you want. So this one is nether bricks. This is the 30 block radius. I made sure that it was a little slower because for some reason, if it's higher, you don't really see it. I put it at 100 just so that it'd be easy to notice. Really easy, not that complicated of a command. And this is literally the same thing, except instead of running it at my feet, it's just executing in general. And it's doing it in relation to me on that side in that direction. Simple. This next one is also pretty simple. Not much going on here. It's just doing the anchored feet command that was used in the block particle command block. And it's running a singular campfire cozy smoke particle. So like if you change, this is 0 just so that it doesn't go anywhere, or else it would be like absolutely everywhere. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention this while I was talking about the orange number. The reason why it's 0 is 0. Technically, 0 is 1 here. Hence why when I start this command, there's only one particle. If you look very closely, you can see it's just one particle being ran. If I change it to like 5, all of a sudden it starts gaining momentum, it goes everywhere, and it's nowhere near the same effect. Which it kind of sucks that you have to leave it at 0, but I think there may be a way, or there may be coming a way to make it to where it just, you can have multiple like span around you. Actually, let's test this out. Cause I didn't think to test this out. At least I don't think I tried to test it out. So if we change this to 2, oh sweet. Okay, so this actually goes on to the next part. So, which I completely forgot about, to be honest. But anyway, so the reason that this part is 0, 0 is that unlike with the dust particle command, where it turns it into a color code, when you set regular particles to a count of 0, these green numbers become momentums, if that makes sense, or directions. So as you can see, this is not like, this is the dragon breath particle. Okay, so it doesn't change color. However, since I changed this to a 0, these green numbers become, which would usually be like, if it were more than one, it would just be like the area of where you wanted things to go. Like over here, this would just be another location of where you wanted it to span. However, now it becomes a direction. So right now it's going off in this direction. But if I change this to 10, all of a sudden it's going way far that way. Actually, let me turn this off. Going way far that way. Similar to like when you get an eye bender and you use it and how it kind of goes off in a straight direction. It's very similar to that. So these become momentums. You can mess around with the momentums and change them however you want to. I think you can curve them up a little bit if you do it correctly. Let's try that. Okay, so yeah, they do kind of cover up if you do it the correct way. But yeah, no, you can mess around with these. I'm guessing higher X and Y values, or X and Z values, with a smaller Y value would make it curl as with most stuff. But let's say you wanted more particles. Well, sorry, you can't do that, because once you do that, that happens. It no longer gains the momentum that it had. Instead, it just spans out, which I think is because you have multiple particles. It doesn't have to technically move to that area in order to fill that space, if that makes sense. Like here, it has to span this direction. It doesn't go in the other direction. Sorry, you'll have to come up with another command. But yeah, so that's something really cool that you can do if you wanted to. What happens if I change this to 6? A bit of a steeper curve. But yeah. That's all the particle stuff that I got for you. Just some stuff. If y'all want me to try some more stuff with particles, I can. If y'all want me to try some more stuff with other commands, I can as well. Just make a comment if you want more map making tutorials, because I haven't made one in a while. So I'll think about that one. But yeah, that's all I have. So if you guys like the video, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. I'm gonna try to upload on Sundays from now on. I don't know if that's gonna work, but I'm gonna try at least. And yeah, if you guys want to comment, share, and we're currently at 97 subscribers, which means we're 3 away from getting the 100. Which, if I got 100, I would be actually ecstatic. Like, you don't even know. But yeah, like it, share the video, comment what you guys want me to do next, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh wait, commands will be in the description, as always. Now, I'll see you guys in the next video.